and gentlemen, turn your speakers up. It's time for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Turn up the bass. A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Oh yeah! Let's meet the hosts. First, a man hailing from the hub city in Indiana. He goes by @TooSweetKyle on Twitter. The host, Kyle Gagliardi. And your co-host, hailing from the valley of Lake Tahoe. He goes by @JimTuck89 on Twitter. Jim Tucker. And last but not least, hailing from the cornfield somewhere in Indiana, the full-time part-timer, Ian Garavaglia. Turn up the bass. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @PodOnTheMark.
So, what do you guys want to talk about? Welcome in. OTM Sunday shoot time. Gags and Tucky in the house. What's going on, Tucky?
We're shooting, brother. Man, just wired at 8 a.m. out here. Snow-covered mountains. Snow-dusted mountains. Haven't got a ton of snow yet. Some of the ski resorts kind of pissed. But I'll tell you, a lot of there were ski resorts out here that were open on the 4th of July.
What? That's a thing?
Yes. Altitude, brother. I'm learning all these things. So that was Mammoth, California, about 2 hours south. They were having, and that was President's Day weekend 2022. We went down to Mammoth for that. That was supposed to be my long run. And that week was the first snow of the year. Couldn't get my long run in there. So we were supposed to have this nice autumnal fall weekend. My wife and I go top of Mammoth Mountain, hot springs, enjoying the area. And the town got smashed with thousands of snowboarders and skiers. It was a touristy nightmare if you're not into skiing and snowboarding, and we were not prepared. So snow dusted mountains right now. Highs of 50 this week. So
nothing wrong with that.
I'm getting nervous because the longer this warm air stays around, the more it's going to screw with our baseball season.
It's going to be a bad winter. I have a feeling you guys, we will get a bad winter in like January and February. Is Mista in the house?
She's popping. She popped in. She's grabbing the massage gun. She's got to work out some kinks. Her apparently Augie gave her a dust up over the evening. You know, they had a shoot of their own sleep, a shoot sleep. Yeah, so she's got some kinks to work out. Good morning.
Good morning, Mista.
Love you. Kyle says hello.
Thanks.
Ian doesn't say hello because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Ian, we talked about doing this. We talked about it on the podcast, and then we texted about it after the show. And Ian was like, I'm in. I'll be there. And then you texted him, and what did we get response?
To quote Ian, shooters shoot, and I'm ready. This was not this morning. This was when we confirmed that we would like to shoot.
Right.
And we are currently shooting. The shoot is happening. Bang bang. And Ian, as Robbie says, the part-timer as usual. Yeah. Boob.
Oh wow! Did you see what Dirk said? I skipped church for this. Dirk, I don't know if it's going to be that exciting. Actually, anything is probably better than church. Let's be honest. Not a religious guy, so take that with what you will. Robbie wished us a happy Sunday. Robbie, thanks for stopping by. And Vogus said that you are a Mammoth Mountain.
Okay, so like if I was called a Mammoth Mountain a few years ago, I would have been soft and offended. But
right.
I know what he means there. Hey, what's
now
up?
You're a jacked Mammoth Mountain.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Hey, new Cody Rhodes hoodie. Peep it.
Ooh, all right. How much does that cost? Like 50?
Yeah, like 50. It's got American Nightmare big on the back. They ran that like Black Friday sale, so I bought Augie a couple onesies, and then obviously like if he gets something, I get something.
You got to be matching, right?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be a child for my wife as well. Well, if he gets a toy, so do I. Come on.
We all need toys. It doesn't matter what age you are. I got a bunch right back here. They're just opened. I don't keep mine in cases like you. I have a few that are in cases, but
And
I like to let them free.
Again, you're not that uncommon either, because like if I took all of these out of the boxes, I could put them on a shelf. So, I understand. And
Yeah.
loose figures still have value too.
They do. Tucky, Robbie's never seen you with glasses on. You look like the proper teacher that you are, he says.
Oh, good morning, Robbie. My eyes, the contacts all day do kind of burn them a little bit, and I'm not great at the 2-week disposables. My 2-week disposables end up sometimes being 10-week disposables. It's self-inflicted.
I was never able to put contacts in, so that just never became a thing for me. So when I played baseball when I was younger, I was wearing goggles catching, because if you're wearing glasses, you flip off the mask, your glasses are going to go flying. Yes. So I was a goggles guy. It was
respect.
Goggles and a mouth guard guy, because I got a concussion from basketball, so I went to a mouth guard. So yeah, I had all the accessories.
Hey, from a coaching standpoint, if a guy shows up with goggles, like he's been there before, like he's already been through the paces and learned that if he wanted to excel, goggles were the move. So you got to figure goggly. Gagliardi. That's perfect.
That actually has a ring to it. Robbie said 4 p.m. UK OTM show. He's loving life. God, that is the perfect time to be watching some OTM. So I have a question. What's your favorite item from Christmas dinner? Tuck, I'll let you take that one first.
Okay, so in my family growing up, our Thanksgiving and Christmas spreads were nearly identical. So I'm interested. Yeah. Okay. So I don't have a ton of like big differences. Like when Christmas comes, I have to do this. Thanksgiving is food based, and I'm a stuffing guy. My mom's cheesy potatoes are outstanding. So like the frozen cubed potatoes,
right?
Velveeta cheese, all kinds of cheese, bake it, get that crust on top. Iconic. Christmas is more about traditions, right? Like, so Christmas Eve, we go to a family friend's house, kind of getting a little too toasty, wake up Christmas Day, and we'll see, because next year Santa's going to be making a visit to 1403. So
that's true.
I'm interested to see how my Christmas Eve is going to go next year.
It's gonna be. You're gonna spoil the shit out of him. I already know that. I mean, Santa is. Sorry, I don't want to.
I'm going to allow Santa to be so graceful in the home. Yeah. Well, and again, if he's an accurate reflection of the family values here, like if the kid's a shit over a year,
he ain't getting shit.
No, dude. The naughty and nice list is the key, dude. And I'll move that fucker back and forth all year.
I know you will.
Okay. Like it matters. Maybe naughty days versus nice days. If the ratio is not in your favor, you're getting coal. Suck it.
I don't hate that ratio right there. Robbie said pigs in a blanket for me, perfection. The bacon, nice and crispy, wrapped in sausage. What a food. Robbie,
is that right though?
That's what they call
bacon wrapped in sausage.
Yeah, that's what they call pigs in a blanket. We went over. I think you were not on that episode. We talked about pigs in a blanket, but for us, it's like a croissant wrapped around a sausage. Correct? That's what you would say. Pigs in a blanket.
But the bacon is wrapped around the sausage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but he's got it wrapped in sausage, which the wording there made it weird to me, like a piece of bacon in the middle of a piece of sausage.
Ooh, he said Santa's bringing him some OTM merch. You can get yourself something like this, baby. Look at that OTM ugly.
And it's kind of
Christmas sweater.
Funny, a lot of people don't know, but Santa does have an OTM specific bag on the sleigh. It looks just like the tapestry behind you. It's a big cloth bag with the OTM logo all over it. And we've had to work. Like, we can't get media passes. It's almost harder to get a media pass with Santa and let him know what we need on his sleigh for our people. But this year we were able to make it happen. So Robbie, congratulations. Santa, Robbie's on the nice list. I think we would both agree with that.
100%. Kine might be on the naughty list. Kine's really been begging to be a guest presenter on the OTMmys. And I told him straight up, I was like, if you beg, I'm not going to want you to be a part of the show. It's got to be a natural invite. That sounds fair, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think, we've both had moments in our life where, too much of an invitation is kind of a decline right there, So we've got to make sure that it's the right fit, but maybe Maybe.
He said Kine is on the nutty list. His takes on AEW are awful. That is a fair reason. Robbie. Dirk said, go Bears, woo. I don't agree with that statement, but best of luck to your Bears, Dirk.
Yeah, Bears.
You know, it's a big game for the Packers. They're trying to stay in the playoff picture, so they got to win today against Tampa Bay. That's why we're doing this at 10. So obviously 8 o'clock your time, Tucky. So I appreciate you hopping on a little earlier to accommodate for my Packers fandom. But yeah, you want to talk wrestling, I guess?
Yeah. Is that what we're okay? Yeah.
I mean, we
I
could.
can do that
We don't
too.
have
We
to.
can
Like,
pivot.
yeah, you know, it's a Sunday shoot. We really don't have a structure whatsoever.
we can
Let's
pivot.
pull this up then. Dirk said Randy Orton's thighs are bigger than my waist. He is huge.
Okay, if this
Beefy
is what,
boy.
if we want to chat a little bit, Randy is nice right now. Has he ever been? I can't think. So
Better looking.
No. Has he ever been this charismatic on the mic?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I just feel like this Orton is here and he's having fun. He's cracking jokes. Like I wouldn't put, and maybe it's the Riddle effect that got him to loosen up a little bit.
That
but,
could have been it.
You know, like I don't think pre-Riddle Randy Orton would be just saying daddy's home. You know,
Right.
like there's a little bit of an edge to it, or daddy's back. There's a little bit of an edge or charisma to him, and he's freaking peace. And when they were standing in the ring, him and Roman, he presented himself so well. Like that is a body and a man of a guy that I think could take the title off of him. I don't think it'll happen.
Randy felt like a bigger deal than Roman, in my opinion, just by overall look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I thought they played that segment well. I thought that whole piece was great. Because it's happening at the Royal Rumble, you gotta, shenanigans will happen. Maybe the Orton and LA Knight and thing will happen, but like they are presenting him, and he has worked physically to get himself to a spot where like I don't know that Roman is necessarily just the straightaway big dog, and
No.
he's got a long title reign, but the last time he was on SmackDown was 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, I haven't been a big fan of the lack of Roman Reigns on television. Trust me, I get it. They're definitely trying to prolong this reign and just keeping him off. It's still working. Like, look at Survivor Series, for example. We talked about it, Tuck. Like, he wasn't on that card, but it still felt like a big show. And granted, you have Randy Orton and CM Punk show up. That's going to do it. Oh, and R-Truth. How could I forget about R-Truth making his return there? But, like, yeah, you don't need him, but it would be nice to have your world champion show up on SmackDown a little bit more.
Well, and it's starting to feel like, okay, we're in the sports realm. We're into all kinds of sports, and you've probably noticed where like a record is close and a guy is close to a record, and then they start catering to make the record happen.
Correct.
When whoever set the record was just in like ruthless pursuit,
working. Yeah,
a basketball point per game record where like the guy shot 90 shots and made 30 of them, and now he's got the point total. Like that's not how it. So it does feel a little gamey in that regard, that they're just gaming it to prolong it. And again, if your goal is this super long reign, you gotta keep him off the mat, because you do want to keep him healthy and every
you gotta
time.
save that bump card for sure. I get it.
I can't believe that they'll have these dudes in main events on pay-per-views wrestle the night before some of these
like
big main
SmackDown.
events. I'm like, wrestling, they're not golfing, like they're not bowling.
Dude, look how often injuries have been happening in both companies right now.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's a coincidence. That just shows you how risky it is to, go out there and perform. Voga said he needs to get on that the return to WWE workout program. Everyone's yoked. Yeah, everyone's looking great.
For real.
You know who else was looking great for a different reason? Robbie's question, what's the whole Liv Morgan stuff? Did you see Liv Morgan's mugshot?
Yeah, looked tired. Looked a little sleepy.
So what he's asking, what's the whole, Liv Morgan situation? So in Florida, you can't have recreation marijuana, and she had under 20 grams, which 20 grams is a lot. So
20
she was
grams
under that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how close she was to that, but she
Uh-huh.
probably was close if they said under 20. So it's probably around like 15 grams.
Yeah.
It's cannabis, talk like I don't think we're anti-cannabis over here, but
No.
it's the law. Of course she got arrested. She got bailed out for $3,000. I don't think it's a big deal.
It is not a big deal. On the side of WWE, many people are just laughing it off. It's going to become a point where
she might be more over now.
Well,
I'm dead serious.
It's something, and because it wasn't clear that she was driving under the influence of marijuana.
She wasn't. They said
was
there was
in
no DWI.
possession of it. And that is not the same as Jeff Hardy ripping it on a Florida interstate at 9:30 a.m. on a Monday, just like toasted to the gills. So the spin on it from WWE at this point is that it'll become a thing. They're they're gonna be playful about it. It is in the wellness policy that marijuana is still not great for WWE. So it's still.
I thought they could do it now.
They haven't fined somebody for marijuana in years. They just haven't
been fired a long time ago.
They didn't. They didn't check. They did not. They haven't updated the language on the wellness policy, but it doesn't seem to matter. And AJ Styles is jacked as well.
Dude, he's got like an 8-pack and he's like 44 years old.
Uh-huh.
What are these guys doing when they're off TV? Like, holy shit.
You ever heard of peptides?
No, I have not.
I'm not saying these guys are getting roided up, but there are many peptides happening in the health industry. One of them being like Ozempic. That's a peptide. Okay. Ozempic is a lot for people with diabetes. It is legal. It is it's an over-the-counter prescription drug, but it's a peptide, and it's aimed. It was made for people with diabetes to help regulate their blood sugar and insulin. Yeah. But what it is a ton of people are taking it to lose weight. So it's a peptide. It is legal. It has one purpose that's targeted towards people with a specific need. But there's a lot of peptides out there. I'm telling you, like testosterone replacement therapy is not necessarily steroids. And some of these dudes are looking like they're ingesting more than pre-workout before a good pump. But hey, hats off to them. A lot of these guys are coming back looking just absolutely saucy.
Phenomenal, I guess you could say.
Indeed. And I think if somebody gets hurt and you rush them back, there's a risk there. But now it feels like they're giving them a little extra time. Okay, you're good to go. Now go bust your ass and become a diesel, kind of thing. And it makes you look like, I am a body guy. I like the dudes that are just dough, and you're a professional wrestler and you're supposed to argue to me that you're capable of beating that mastodon on the other side of the ring.
Yeah.
That's where you lose me a little bit. But you have a guy like Kevin Owens, who's never been a body guy, never has claimed to be a body guy, but he's a tough motherfucker. Like, so you can get range, sure, but I always, the idea of being a professional, I'm going to fight people for a living, but I'm also not going to dedicate the time to build those skills is interesting to me sometimes. And that is very superficial. Like,
it is. Yeah, a little bit.
I don't like that guy's pecs. Ew. Wow, look at this guy. Ooh, wow. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel you. But AJ turning was kind of surprising to me when I thought he was coming in for that babyface save, another guy to fight against the bloodline. Nah. He seemed to attack everybody that was a good guy and walked away, but I don't think he's in affiliation with the bloodline by any means. But I mean, I'm curious why he did what he did.
Is it Drew McIntyre or Jace where has feuds, has a sense to go after the bloodline, but also doesn't give a shit about anybody else either?
Could be a justified reasoning. It's just like Drew's are. Like, they always say like 80% of heels are usually right, when they're down these points. So I mean, maybe AJ will tell us next week, but yeah, he looked great, and I'm excited to see what happens. Liam is a big fan of the glasses, by the way.
Oh, I think if I'm looking right at that picture, I think that's a former student of mine.
It is, because
Good
he used
morning,
to
Liam.
pop in. Yeah, he used to pop
Yeah.
in back in the day, I think.
Liam's the man. His dad is also the man. I work with his father. Great guy.
Isn't he a wrestling fan, or am I thinking of somebody else that you knew?
No.
Okay.
Liam and his dad are not known wrestling people in my circles, you know.
But could be. Give it a chance.
Should
You
be.
never
They're
know.
here. Hey,
Wrestling's great.
you know it.
We love it. So we need one more pay-per-view on our OTMmys.
Yeah.
Right now we're sitting at WrestleMania Night 1, AEW Revolution, and WWE Backlash. Ian threw out All In, monumental pay-per-view. I just thought the matches didn't equal the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought All In was going to be better than it actually was. It was a big moment. It sold tickets, but when I think of like the greatest pay-per-views of 2023, that one I would say no.
No, here's the thing. They sold out Wembley without putting a match on the card. So, in my opinion, I don't know that they packed that card as much as they could have given the circumstances.
Right.
It was fine. But again, I remember more the fact that there were like 80,000 people in that building, and then the CM Punk stuff
CM
more than
Punk
I
thing,
remember
yeah.
oh my God, that really big story culminated in that really big match in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium. Which one was it?
MJF and Adam Cole.
Okay.
I mean, that was good. It was in my match of the year candidates.
Yeah, no.
Good.
But for an 8-hour show, like it felt like we were on the couch all day for that thing.
It did, yeah.
You know, when
it was like a WrestleMania.
You look at Survivor Series and it's like bang, bang, bang.
That's
okay,
interesting. Cool. We never really even talked about Survivor Series on being a pay-per-view of the year on Thursday's show.
I think really like that. I think the comment section, if
let us know.
If you have thoughts too, looking back at it, Survivor Series was a good pay-per-view.
I'll tell you what it's not. It was not SummerSlam. When you look at the grand scheme of things for PLEs this year, SummerSlam might have been one of the worst shows on the year. Which is because Elimination Chamber and Night of Champions had moments. Like, there wasn't really a moment at SummerSlam. Everything kind of felt chalky.
And coming off of like a SummerSlam in Nashville that like kind of went hard like that. The SummerSlam was great. The iconic moment with Brock, again, that was a lottery ticket show. Brock lifting the ring. You had that. You had some returns there that were thoughtful and allowed Triple H put his stamp on it.
Correct.
We were there. We were live at both. The Detroit pay-per-view felt very Detroit-esque, kind of ass. It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah, I'm not. We had a great time. Like, it's always a good time when you go to a wrestling show. It's just when you stack that up against every single thing that WWE did this year, it doesn't live up to that, level of a Forbidden Door or a Night of Champions or Elimination Chamber or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I throw in names like Forbidden Door, because I think there were a lot of great matches on that card. Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson happened on that show too.
I think Forbidden Door was better than All In.
I do too. I think Forbidden Door was their second best pay-per-view of the year behind Revolution.
And Forbidden Door was just kind of a match fest, but it was all bangers.
Great. Yeah.
So I
think that's a strong candidate for number 4, Forbidden Door.
Yeah, you get some parody there. Whatever, we're at that point now, it's like whatever fourth we put on is just so we have 4 candidates, honestly.
It's not going to win.
It's a 3-horse race. It's a 3-dog race. The fourth, I think, is a tip of a cap. It does, in our mind, level AEW up because they had 2 contenders for pay-per-view of the year.
We should probably throw an AEW show in there.
Does it deserve it though? Or is WWE 75% of the best pay-per-views each year?
Recency bias says Survivor Series over, because that's where I'm kind of looking now. You brought up Survivor Series. It's fresh in my mind. I'm comparing that to Forbidden Door. I think the in-ring stuff at Forbidden Door was better, but I think there were many moments and stories told in the matches and, of course, the returns you have to include CM Punk's return as a part of the entire PLE. Like
Well,
he didn't
and-
do anything, but he showed up, and that's significant enough.
Well, he didn't do anything, but he was part of. They intentionally made him part of the storyline for the whole show because of, is Randy going to show up or not?
Correct.
Right, and they played into it, and the women's match was great. The men's
Fantastic.
match, they like tied up some storylines within it. Like Orton's coming back, and he's supposed to be on this team, and he's not supposed to like Jey Uso.
Right.
So what's going on? Have them look, shut the door on Raw, move on. Like WWE is a lot more intentional and thoughtful with the storytelling in the programs right now, when in the past Vince McMahon would have just not acknowledged that was ever a strife between Orton and Jey and would have went on. And so, like, the buy-in on the side of WWE, I think we're feeling valued as fans. Triple H is not forgetting or not acknowledging some big things.
Connecting dots.
Exactly. He's working at the cork board with all of the strings, understanding what it works, when Vince might just throw out half of the cork board and start fresh sometimes, it felt like. So
That's a good point.
I thought I wouldn't be upset if Survivor Series was on it. I really liked it.
I wouldn't either.
A potential surprise, a guaranteed debut, like delivered on both. They said it was going to be Orton because that would be a Vince McMahon thing too.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks was supposed to fight Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. Instead, Bianca Belair got manhandle slammed and was done in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And they were still selling t-shirts after that match happened with Bianca and Sasha on it. I hate that shit.
Yeah, that's not worth buying the t-shirt for. That's for damn sure.
No.
That'd be a terrible purchase. But I know there's about 3 or 4 people watching live right now. Let us know. I think we're leaning Survivor Series. That's the vibe I'm getting from you, Tucky. I lean that way as well. But the only reason I'd be putting Forbidden Door in is because a match of the year candidate and to even out AEW versus WWE. But it shouldn't always go by that. It should be like, what is the overall better body of work?
And if you could run a Twitter poll too. Like if those are the 2 that we're settled on, we could run a Twitter poll because we're going to, on the 21st, here's the goal, ladies and gentlemen. On the 21st, our show this Thursday, we plan to have the Google form ballot available. So we have to settle this in like 4 or 5 days, but we're looking for one pay-per-view, and then I think the fun of the shoot is creating the bracket, and for match of the year, I think that's a fun spin where it doesn't make the actual ballot too clouded with like 16 choices.
Correct.
So a pay-per-view might win with or a match might win with like 3 votes.
Yeah,
so.
And I mean that's how it's got to be, because we were talking a lot on Thursday about match of the year, and we just couldn't come to an agreement. Because, everybody's seeing these matches through their own eyes, and everybody likes different things. So we might as well talk about those match of the year candidates. You want to do that then?
Oh, here we are.
So we obviously have to have 2 sides of 8, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I think number 1 seeds, if you're okay with these, I think Swerve Hangman has to be a number 1 seed. I think that was the most brutal match of the year. And then I would say maybe Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte would be the other 1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that got a lot of attention.
A lot of traction for sure. So let's do that. Do you have like a sheet or a Google thing pulled up right now?
Yeah, I'm building a spreadsheet now.
Do you want me to share it on here? I could probably.
It's ugly.
Oh, is it? You don't want me to do that though?
Champ 248.
Share screen. Oh, you would have to share the screen. Got it. I
Can
can't do it.
Can I present?
There's something at the bottom, I believe. Yeah, present.
Share screen.
Yep. Now you're starting to figure it out.
Share.
Hold up, guys. Let them cook.
Now, what does that look like on your end? Is it just my spreadsheet?
Big white spreadsheet. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very. I see some writing, but it's kind of. I don't. Let me see what it looks like on from a viewer standpoint. See, people, this isn't a podcast. We can do whatever. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking. Now I see what you're dealing with.
Should be round of 8. I think we're gonna be okay.
Okay, so we'll put those 2 at the number 1. I I think one of those Osprey Omega matches should probably be a 2 seed, and I'd lean towards Forbidden Door. I don't know how you feel about that one. Count over there.
Yeah.
You're cool with that one?
Mm-hmm. And that was Will Ospreay versus Omega?
Yeah, Forbidden Door. Will
Is it EAY or EY?
EAY. For Bruv. You talking about Bruv?
Yes.
Mr. Bruv over there. And then the other one I had for a 2 seed, this one might be controversial unless you can think of a better one. I put Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus at Payback as a 2 seed. Like I'm really high on that match, but you could also argue, Tuck, I know you like this one, Gunther versus Sheamus and McIntyre at WrestleMania.
I put that match ahead of this one.
We can do that.
I also don't care about seeds because I think the cream will rise to the top.
Let's do that triple threat then as a 2 seed.
Okay.
Let's put Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre as a 2 seed with what was the other 2 seed? I said, Omega Ospreay. Dirk said, with my technical skills, I can take a screenshot and enlarge it. Look at that. He's prepared.
There it is. He's working.
Getting ready.
Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew.
Yeah, that'll be the other 2 seed. Then I would probably put Becky and Trish as a 3. That was at Payback, Tucky. And I'm looking at my list right now that we talked about already. What do you think about Danielson and MJF's Iron Man match at Revolution as a 3 seed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm working them. Becky Lynch versus Trish was at Payback.
At Payback, correct. And then we're gonna put Bryan Danielson versus MJF's Iron Man match at AEW Revolution as the other 3 seed. Damn, I'm getting hungry. I probably should have had something this morning.
And that one was at what? Danielson MJF?
That was at Revolution. Yeah, that was the Iron Man match.
Yeah, that was dope too.
Yeah, that was a great match. That was the match where we were like, oh yeah, MJF can go. Like, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look here. I'd probably put Ospreay Omega at Wrestle Kingdom. That happened at the beginning of the year as a 4 seed. I don't think it was as good as Forbidden Door, but I still think it was great. So if you're cool with that, I say we put that as a 4.
Okay, so the 1 should play the 8.
Correct. 1 plays the 8. 4 plays the 5. That's the following matchup after that. Then you got 2-7 at the bottom and 3-6 in the middle.
And this should technically be up here.
Are we starting? You wanted to start the bracket today then?
Yeah, we'll pull up. We're gonna post the matchups.
First round matchups.
Yeah, 1-8, 2-7, 3-6.
I'm trying to see if you. Yeah, so the first 4 seed we're gonna do Ospreay, Omega, Wrestle Kingdom. Dirk said, maybe your dad saved some Oreos and Chips Ahoy before he retired if you're that hungry. You know, Dirk, I don't live at home. I live on my own, but I am going over to my dad's place after this, and I guarantee you he's got Chips Ahoy and Oreos in the closet for sure.
Saw a dude at Walmart today, significantly older than us. Could be our dad age, not super grandpa age. His purchase at 7 a.m. at Walmart today was a jug of Sunny D lemonade and a box of corn dogs.
Corn dogs, Jackie, for all these people.
It was dope.
All right,
okay. Ospreay Omega at Wrestle Kingdom is a 4 seed.
Okay.
On the West.
Thinking Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton at No Mercy as the other 4 seed. Just probably one of the best women's matches of the year. I know not a lot of people watch NXT, but that No Mercy card had 2 bangers, and we'll talk about the other one in a little bit. So you got that one locked in?
Yep.
5 seeds, I'm thinking Moxley versus Hangman at a Texas Death Match. That was on Revolution as well. Probably the second best Texas Death Match of the year. Called Mustard.
That one was Revolution?
Yeah, that was Revolution as well. That just shows you how good of a pay-per-view Revolution was because they had 2 Match of the Year candidates. So we'll put that as a 5. Let me get that off my notes. It's about time I get to erase all the notes and do it all again next year on my list.
Yes, and so we begin again.
You know, the list has been very helpful for the awards every year going forward.
It had. I ask you a couple times a year, what's your
You
list
do.
at? What's the
Yep.
list?
You're always keeping tabs on
Mhm.
that one. Not a match of the year, but the Braun Ricochet Profits Alpha Academy Viking Raiders match at Mania was so damn fun. Yes, it was. We were sitting there like, what? And they just kept going. We're like, oh my god, That was
Mhm.
one of those where you're like, yeah, pleasantly surprised. I agree with that. That's a good honorable mention there, Vogus. For the other 5 seed, what you think about Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch at Halloween Havoc?
Ooh.
That one is another match not a lot of people talk about. It wasn't on a pay per view; it was a regular show, but I thought that one deserved some love. These next couple matches obviously aren't gonna win, but I think they're gonna make things interesting, and that's what the bracket's all about, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're on the 6th seed now.
Yep.
What you think about the women's war game as a 6th seed?
Oh, I
That's
feel
a
like
tough
it should be
6.
higher, right?
That's a tough 6, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hey, put it in there. Hey, that'll make things interesting. We want some upsets. Put that one in as a 6.
Yeah, but it's going up against Danielson MJF at Revolution. So
Hey, it might be closer than you think.
Yeah?
I wouldn't vote for the women's war games. I'd vote the other one, but hey.
but it gets the people going.
Yeah. And then MJF versus Adam Cole at All In. I know we were just talking about All In, how it wasn't as great as we thought it was going to be, but that match definitely delivered. So I'd like to put that as a 6. And then I got 4 more matches on here, and you know what's funny about it, Tuck? There is the same matchup listed twice, just at different shows. I have Carmelo Hayes versus Dragunov, the one at No Mercy, and I have the one at the Great American Bash. But I think the one at No Mercy was slightly better, so I think that should be probably a 7 seed.
Yes. And we are going to put that. You want to.
What's the?
It doesn't
Dutch-
matter. Carmelo.
Oh, they're both probably going to lose. Yeah,
Carmelo
versus
Hayes.
Dragunov.
Dragunov.
No Mercy.
Is No Mercy a show of the year?
I mean, they got a lot of good matches, don't they?
That's what I'm saying.
I really love that show. I think another 7 seed. You probably didn't even see this match. It actually happened on Collision a couple months ago, but I think you did. MJF versus Kenny Omega, where they were like going through tables and shit, even though it wasn't supposed to be no DQ. I thought that was a match of the year candidate. Yeah.
Which one was that?
Collision, MJF versus Omega. That's actually MJF just tweeted out that picture wishing Kenny, a speedy recovery after beating him on that Collision. I thought that match was phenomenal.
That's a 7.
Okay.
We need our 2 8s.
All right. Well, you know what? Vogus brings up a good match, and I'm willing to bump it off if you think it's worth putting in there.
Gags is always willing to bump it off.
He said Usos versus KO and Sammy at WrestleMania.
That one banged.
Would you put that above? Actually, you probably would. Christian versus Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream, or Carmelo Hayes versus Dragunov at the Great American Bash?
Oh, I think I put it above both. Honestly, yeah. I just
you want
love
to just take Hayes Dragunov off since we already have it.
Yeah, we already have one. I think that's cool.
So that's a good shout, Vogus. Put Usos versus KO and Sammy at Mania as at 8, which is a tough 8 for sure. And we can do Christian Cage versus Darby Allin as the final 8 at Wrestle Dream. Which, holy shit, I can't believe we put together this bracket. We did it, Tucky.
I know. What's the other 8 seed?
Christian Cage versus Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream. Yes, Aaron Jones is playing today. That's good news. I won $200 yesterday, Tuck.
Attaboy.
We're having a good couple months here. I think I'm up over $1,000.
Ooh.
That'll pay for the Christmas gifts,
No kidding.
Let's see what this comment says. Hello, Kine. Thanks for stopping by. We're kind of just wrapping up here. We were just putting together this bracket. Bogus said, surprised there's no Orange Cassidy on here. It's a good point, too. But, I can't... all of Orange Cassidy's matches are good. It's just hard to say which one is, a match of the year candidate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you could make a case for a lot of Orange Cassidy matches. Another thing I noticed, too, I don't think we have Rollins, Moxley, or Reigns in any of these matches.
Moxley, Hangman Page.
Oh yeah, shit. Well, we don't have Rollins or Reigns then, right?
No.
That's crazy. Two guys that we are like considering to be wrestler of the year, not having a match of the year. Maybe that takes away from them and when people are voting. We'll see.
Okay, these winners. Okay, that's.
We got to get a screenshot of that bracket so we can post it, and then I will run polls today. Sound good?
Yes.
You could screenshot that, right? That's doable.
Yeah, because we essentially just have to. We really just have to get it down to 4 candidates, right?
That is correct. Even though you did say on the podcast that you would consider doing a six nominees, but that would be hard to differentiate with.
Now that we have 2 sides of 8, I think it's got to
Let's
get. We just get down to the final 4. So then we need 1 in the middle.
Robbie, I saw you say I'm on the naughty list for AEW takes. You had the same takes until last week. Ooh. Kind coming back. He's not wrong. Robbie didn't get invested in the AEW again until a couple weeks ago when we did a watch along. So good rebuttal there, Kind. And happy belated birthday to you. So yeah, that's the game plan. We're gonna do a poll to determine the last pay-per-view spot, and that will be between Survivor Series and Forbidden Door. And then I will send this bracket out that you're seeing on the screen right now, do some polls, and we'll knock out the first round today. And then you said in 2 days we'll do the second round, correct? On the 19th.
Yeah, so we're going to run 48-hour polls. So the rounds of 8. Today's your busiest day on X today, Gags, because you got to make one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to make 8 polls.
And
these are gonna close on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And I don't know if you can set a timer or when you want to end it, but
I can. Yeah.
Ending it somewhere on the 19th and starting the Elite 8. It's really the round of 16.
Kind's a big fan. He said, I love this type of voting. Loves brackets. It's so good. It's like it's December madness over here in OTM land.
Yes.
I'm actually going to send out that pay-per-view of the year. Pay-per-view of the year. Final OTMmys. We're doing it live, people.
All right.
I think we're good then, right?
We are.
We can wrap this shit up. So, yeah, people, appreciate you stopping by. There's about 3 or 4 of you that were tuning in on a random Sunday morning. So, you are all appreciated. You know what's going down. We're going to be voting here the next couple days. So, please make sure you're following us on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, because that's the only place you're going to be able to cast your vote. So, Dirk Vogus, if you want to vote, have Ryan use one of his other accounts to vote for you. That's my recommendation there. Because I know he's got some wiffle ball accounts out there. I have more accounts, though, still. Everybody knows that. I am the king of Twitter accounts. Kind of need a betting slip. Guess all winners of each OTMmy. That would be fun. A little sports book, if you will, for odds.
I have a potential idea for our pick predictions contest. I think it could potentially eliminate ties ever again.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so you on the Google form, you make your pick.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so it is Adam Cole versus MJF. I think Adam Cole will win. My confidence on this pick is 4. If I win the pick, I get 4 points. If I lose the pick, I lose 4 points. So if I'm not super confident, I shouldn't put 5 points on that pick.
Right.
Because
you put like 1 if you don't feel confident at all.
So you and I could have the same card, or we could have the win-loss becomes the number 1. So then and then whoever has the most points after that, I think there's a little bit more math to do, but it could be a way to.
It would be a lot of work for us, Tuckett. We are cranking out a lot of work these next couple weeks.
The picks and the points just come with it. It wouldn't be anybody else's job other than mine. Yeah, you just gotta, because win-loss is the ultimate, your true north, and then.
Bogus said, "I don't think you need to subtract points." I could see that being fair.
But if you just put 5, if there's no
You miss
negative,
0.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of agree with Bogus here.
yeah. But if I put 5 for every match and I don't get anything wrong, if there's no repercussion for picking 5 points per match, and you and I have the same card and we both picked 5s the whole time because there was no reason to lose points, we'd have the same total as well.
So you're saying you could put the same amount of confidence points on each match?
Yeah, how confident
I thought
are
you
you
were saying like
you're
no. Yeah, okay.
No,
I see what
you
you're
have to
saying
gauge
now.
your bet. So I
get it. Okay.
out of 5 points.
Yeah, see that me and Vogus were thinking the same thing. We thought it was going to go by if there were 7 matches, you say most confident 7 and so on and so forth. You get it? That's what I thought you were saying, but
yeah.
I get what you're saying now. You're just saying 1 through 5, most confident being 5, and if you lose, you subtract. Okay, that makes sense.
Because then it makes it like, do I really think this is a no-brainer?
Right.
And it could be, but we're just shooting, brother.
We are, and I got to get going here because I got to get over to my parents to watch some football here very shortly. So I already have the poll out. Pay-per-view of the year. We're trying to find that 4th and final nominee. That voting ends 24 hours from today. And then I will tweet out the bracket that Tucky sends to me here very shortly. And then we will just keep doing those polls to determine match of the year. So, like I said, make sure you're following us at Pot on the Mark. Tucky, I think that's all we got for him.
At Pot on the Mark. Yeah, that's all I got. I'll be finishing up this little spreadsheet here.
Beautiful.
And I'll get that over your way. I'll make it cute or something, trying to.
Kyan, thanks for stopping by. See you later. We'll be back on Thursday. I might just talk about what's going on this week in wrestling.
Dude. Freaking Ralph not answering Dirk's phone calls. What's going on here?
Wow. I wonder. Well, Ralph probably doesn't have his number saved, knowing Ralph. And it's probably a random number, so he's ignoring it. That's what I do. I don't have your number saved in my phone.
Yeah, you're going to have to leave me a voicemail or something. You're going to have to send me a follow-up text.
Either that or Ralph is walking. Ralph walks 3 miles every morning, and I try to get in contact with him. And, he's very active, man. Ever since he retired,
if he's walking, he's getting out. I like it. I love
63 years old, walking around the lakes of the Four Seasons, living the life.
Could be worse. It's a nice little place to take a lap or two.
I wish they had sidewalks, though. I know you lived there for some time. That would have been very beneficial.
For real. There's room. You could have figured it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just send us home. We don't need a fancy outro or anything.
No, it's a shoot, brother.
We're going to do our thing. Follow us at Pot on the Mark, and we'll talk to you guys on Thursday.
Hold on. Do you guys want my number?
Don't put your number. Goodness. We'll talk off the record, Dirk. Don't do that. Listen to your son. All right, boys. We'll see you later.